Sunday brunch at the country club was a family tradition I'd been avoiding for months. But Mom had called 3 times this week, using her guilt trip voice about how I never made time for family anymore. So here I was, sitting across from my parents and my brother Kevin at our usual table overlooking the golf course. Kevin was in the middle of his standard humble brag about his promotion to senior associate at Dad's law firm. The partners are really impressed with my litigation work. Dad thinks I could make partner in 5 years if I keep up this trajectory. That's wonderful, honey, Mom beamed. Your father and I are so proud. Dad nodded approvingly. Kevin's got a natural talent for law, following in the family tradition. I sipped my mimosa and said nothing. I'd learned years ago that these brunches weren't really about conversation. They were about Kevin's achievements getting validated while mine got dismissed. And what about you, Maya? Mom asked with that particular tone that meant she already knew she wouldn't like the answer. Still working on that. What do you call it? That app thing. Yes, I'm still working on it. Still playing with your little app? Dad chuckled, cutting into his eggs Benedict. When are you going to get a real job? You're 28 years old. Kevin was already on partnership track by your age. Kevin also went to law school, I pointed out. Different paths. Different paths, Dad repeated dismissively. Maya, I've been patient with this startup phase, but it's been 4 years. At some point, you need to accept that not every hobby becomes a career. Kevin smirked. Remember when she wanted to be a marine biologist? Or was it a fashion designer? Maya's always chasing the next big dream. I was 12 when I wanted to be a marine biologist. And now you're making phone apps, he said. Very practical. My phone buzzed in my purse. I ignored it. The Forbes issue wasn't officially released until tomorrow, but my PR team had sent me an advance copy this morning. It was sitting in my car, still in its envelope, waiting for the right moment. We just want you to be realistic, Mom said gently. Your father and I have been talking. Maybe it's time to consider coming to work at the firm? We could use someone to help with our digital presence, website updates, that sort of thing. Social media coordinator, Kevin suggested. That's basically what you do anyway, right? Post things online. I set down my mimosa carefully. Not exactly. Well, whatever it is, it can't be paying well, Dad said. You're still in that tiny apartment in Brooklyn. Kevin just bought a condo in Tribeca. Yes, I heard. Congratulations, Kevin. Thanks. 2 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows, gym in the building. Dad helped with the down payment, but I'm covering the mortgage myself. That's what real career stability looks like. My phone buzzed again. Then again. My PR team was probably panicking because I hadn't responded to their messages about interview requests. The point is, Dad continued, you're not getting any younger. You should be thinking about your future. Financial security. Maybe meeting someone and settling down. This app hobby is fine for now, but it's not a hobby, Dad. It's a company. Flow State has 68 employees, offices in New York and San Francisco, and we're expanding to London next quarter. He waved his hand dismissively. Sure. But what's the actual revenue? Are you profitable? These tech startups, they all sound impressive until you look at the actual numbers. I could have told him the numbers. 22 million in revenue last year, projected to hit 40 million this year. But I'd learned that sharing my achievements only led to more questions designed to minimize them. It's fine, I said quietly. We're doing fine. Fine isn't great, Dad said. Fine is what you say when you're barely getting by. Kevin here is doing great. Bonus last year was 6 figures. 140,000, Kevin clarified. Plus stock options. Mom patted my hand sympathetically. We're not criticizing, sweetheart. We just want you to have the kind of success that provides real security. This app business is so unstable. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. I pulled it out, ready to silence it, and saw 15 missed texts from my COO, my PR director, and my lead investor at Sequoia Capital. Sarah, who TechCrunch wants an exclusive. Bloomberg wants you on tomorrow morning. This is insane. Marcus' PR Forbes article is already trending on Twitter. Hashtag FlowState is trending worldwide. Your LinkedIn has gained 50K followers in 2 hours. David Sequoia, congrats on the Forbes cover. Valuation is conservative if anything. We're fielding acquisition offers already. Call me. Forbes cover. The words hit me like cold water. Maya, it's rude to be on your phone at brunch, Mom said. I looked up at my family. Dad was finishing his eggs. Kevin was scrolling through his own phone, probably checking stock prices or billing hours. Mom was waving down the waiter for more coffee. I need to show you something, I said. I walked out to the parking lot, grabbed the envelope from my car and came back to the table. Inside was the advance copy of Forbes, the one that would hit newsstands tomorrow morning. I slid it across the table. The cover showed me in the Flow State office, arms crossed standing in front of our logo. The headline read, "The $2.3 billion app. How Maya Chin built Flow State into the future of workplace productivity." Dad's fork stopped halfway to his mouth. His smile literally froze mid-bite. Kevin grabbed the magazine. What the hell? Forbes 30 under 30, I said calmly. They're running a cover story about Flow State. About how we've disrupted the workplace productivity industry. That's the company valuation from our Series C funding round that closed last month. $2.3 billion. The table went silent. Mom took the magazine from Kevin with shaking hands. $2 billion. $2.3 billion, I corrected. We raised $300 million in our latest funding round led by Sequoia Capital, with participation from Andreessen Horowitz and Tiger Global. That values Flow State at $2.3 billion, making it one of the fastest-growing enterprise software companies in the industry. Dad's face had gone pale. You raised $300 million? Last month. We kept it quiet until the Forbes piece was ready. My PR team has been coordinating the announcement. What does Flow State even do? Kevin asked, his voice strained. We're a workplace productivity platform that uses AI to optimize workflow patterns and eliminate busy work. We have over 2 million users across 15,000 companies, including 40% of Fortune 500 firms. Microsoft uses us. Google uses us. Goldman Sachs just signed a company-wide deal. I pulled out my phone and opened my email. I've got acquisition offers from 3 major tech companies. Oracle offered $2.8 billion last week. I turned it down. You turned down $2.8 billion? Mom looked faint. The company is worth more than that. Our growth trajectory has us potentially reaching a $10 billion valuation within 3 years. David at Sequoia thinks we could IPO by 2026. Kevin was reading the Forbes article, his face getting redder with each paragraph. This says you're worth $400 million personally. My equity stake is about 18% after dilution from funding rounds. At current valuation, yes, my shares are worth approximately $414 million. Though that's paper wealth until we exit. Dad set down his fork. His eggs were getting cold. Why didn't you tell us? I tried. Multiple times. But every time I mentioned Flow State, you called it my little app or my hobby. Last Thanksgiving, I tried to explain our Series B funding, and you changed the subject to Kevin's promotion. We didn't know it was actually successful, Mom protested. You didn't ask. There's a difference. Kevin was still staring at the magazine, at my face on the cover of Forbes, at the number $2.3 billion printed in bold text. This is insane. You're on the Forbes cover. They're calling it the most comprehensive profile they've done all year. 6-page spread. They interviewed my entire executive team, talked to our investors, got quotes from our enterprise clients. The article goes into how Flow State is revolutionizing workplace productivity and why major companies are betting on our technology. My phone buzzed again. A text from my assistant. Wall Street Journal wants to do a profile. Time Magazine wants you for their Tech Innovators feature. Good Morning America wants you for Wednesday. I have to go, I said, standing. I've got about 20 interview requests to sort through, and my PR team needs to finalize our media strategy for the official announcement tomorrow. Wait, Dad said, finding his voice. Maya, sit down. Let's talk about this. About what? About how my little app is actually worth more than your law firm's annual revenue. About how my hobby has made me wealthier than everyone at this table combined. We can talk, Dad. But maybe this time you'll actually listen. That's not fair, he said weakly. What's not fair is spending 4 years building something revolutionary while my own family treated it like a phase I'd outgrow. What's not fair is sitting through brunches where my accomplishments got dismissed while Kevin's 6-figure bonus got celebrated like he'd cured cancer. Kevin looked like he'd been slapped. That's not. I didn't know. Because you didn't ask. None of you did. You saw app and assumed I was making some silly game. You never asked about our technology, our business model, our clients, our revenue. You just assumed I was failing because I wasn't following the family path. Mom's eyes were watering. We're proud of you, sweetheart. We just didn't understand. You didn't try to understand. There's a difference. I picked up my purse in the Forbes magazine. I need to go. My COO is waiting and we have a board meeting this afternoon to discuss the acquisition offers. Maya, please, Dad said. Don't leave like this. Let's celebrate. This is incredible news. Is it? Because 5 minutes ago, you were telling me I needed a real job. You were suggesting I become your social media coordinator. Now that Forbes has validated what I've been building, suddenly it matters. He had no answer to that. The Forbes article mentions that I've been essentially self-funded except for our institutional rounds, I continued. That's because when I asked Dad for seed money 4 years ago, he told me I was wasting my time and he wasn't funding my little experiment. Remember that conversation? Dad's face flushed. I didn't know it would become this. That's the point. You couldn't see the potential because you weren't willing to look. You dismissed it because it wasn't law, wasn't something you understood. Kevin closed the magazine. What happens now? Now. I finish building Flow State into the company I know it can be. We close our enterprise deals, expand internationally and probably IPO in a few years. I'll continue doing what I've been doing, just with more media attention and better funding. And us? Mom asked quietly. I looked at my family. Dad had always compared me to Kevin. Mom cared more about my apartment than my work. Kevin mocked my phase while living off connections. That's up to you, I said. See me as I am, a successful founder, or keep dismissing me. I'm done chasing your respect. My investors, clients, and employees already respect me. I don't need it from people who called my company a hobby. I walked to the door then turned. By the way, Dad, Oracle's $2.8 billion offer? That's 7 times your law firm's worth. I turned it down because Flow State is worth more. Next time, ask before you judge. Outside I sat in my car. My phone blew up. Interviews, congratulations investors. The Forbes article was trending. Sarah texted, you okay? Where are you? I replied, just left brunch. They saw Forbes. You can guess how it went. Her, coffee? Media strategy? Me, yes. Meet at office in 20. Driving to Manhattan, Dad kept calling. Then texts. Maya, please call. We're sorry. We want to celebrate. Mom, we're proud of you. Please don't shut us out. Kevin, Forbes cover is insane. I'm sorry. Call me. I ignored them. I called Sarah. You ready to change the world? She asked. I've been ready, I said. Book everything. It's time people saw Flow State. And time they saw who you are, she added. At the office my team had champagne waiting. 68 people who never called it a hobby. To Maya, Sarah toasted. To Flow State, I corrected. The company we built together. More text from Dad. I know I failed you. Let me make it right. I put my phone away. Family could wait. Right now I had a company to run, interviews to prepare, and a future to build. A future where no one would call my work a hobby again. Because the best answer to being underestimated isn't anger. It's undeniable success, like being on the cover of Forbes.